Get started. Hello, welcome to Evening Hatha. Let me grab some earbuds here. So, just in case. New space for current movements and motions. So, we're going to see. I want you to be able to have the view of me. Which I think is pretty good because this is about where I'll leave that. That's the kitty cat. The kitty cat dish. Maybe the cat will grace us with their presence if they hear their food open. All right. I don't know. You can probably hear me pretty well, but just in case. Like different poses and positions or something, or my head's down in a way, it'll be nice for you to be able to hear me. Puppy is like, who am I talking to? Oh, puppy, you want to come say hi? I'm also really hoping I don't have food in my teeth because I was trying to rush to be here. The human side was like, rush and get there. But for evening hatha, this one is about letting go. If you are into astrology, astronomy, we just had our full moon. And when going through phases of the moon, I apologize, like my teeth. I'm like, where? Something's on my teeth. But when going through phases of the moon, you have, your new moon, you have, your half moon, you have your quarter moon, you have all these different moons and they all have different names. And then you have your full moon, some call it the worm. And for astrology, it was in Virgo. And as you move into a new moon, especially when it's hitting a phase that it hasn't been in for a while, or like a phase where it's like, oh, such and such planets or such and such, signs, it hasn't been in this for so long. You can feel the energies. It can kind of feel surreal or have you just feeling some kind of way. So that's kind of where we were with this Virgo with the full moon. When you're already, I don't know if you've heard of it, where they always say like, oh, people are wacky tonight, it must be a full moon. Just the full moon is a time where things can resonate, things are coming up, you let go, you've moved into action, you've taken care of things, and now that cycle is coming to, full front, or it's coming to an end, and then you're getting a new chapter. As it repeats, the cycle repeats and goes into then, your new moon, crescent moon, all those things. So now that, but you can still feel those energies, and you can feel the energies up as you go towards that full moon, and you can feel them a day or so after. So people might still be feeling, the energies from that full moon that just happened yesterday. So with that, as I mentioned, Virgo, it was about letting go. And I posted something on my socials yesterday that was about that same thing. We talk about holding on, not letting go when we should, and finding burnout, finding exhaustion, finding it hard to release for whatever the reason. And, so it brings into mind how much harder sometimes it can be for people to let go of something or someone that's asking to be released, or let go of a pattern, an addiction, a thought, a mindset. It can be so much harder to let that thing go than it was to hold on to it. And as we go into this flow tonight, this stretch, thinking about that, or kind of seeing if anything naturally comes up as we're breathing and stretching in relation to that. What are some things maybe that, you're working on letting go, or that you could let go? What are, even if it's just something in your practice, whether you're on the mat or in a chair, or if you're a runner or a boxer or a gymnast or what have you, what is something that you find just kind of making yourself a little like kooky about? And what would happen if you release that and let it go? In my practice, I find that the poses, I work on them and the asanas, but when I finally just get to a point where I'm like, whatever, it's going to be what it's going to be, that's when I flow into it so much more easier. letting go of that expectation of that outcome of what the pose, to me maybe should feel like or should look like, just comparing myself to other or comparing to what I've seen. And then it's so beautiful how, when you can get the courage and strength and bravery to release, then the beauty that can come along after, whether it be instant or a day later, a week later, a month later, 6 months later, it's just like, wow, whether then it be recovery or finding in this new feeling of freedom and liberation that you couldn't even imagine was going to happen. So, if that resonates with you and with this full moon that we just had, just kind of in your inhales, we're going to take three powerful, deep, long inhales and exhales through the mouth. Do them at your own pace and time. And after you go through those three deep, long, exhilarating inhales and exhales, allow your breath to naturally find its place in its space. Allow the hands to rest at sides. Find length in your spine. Bring engagement to the core of the belly and the crown lengthening towards the ceiling. So take your time. Allowing these three deep breaths to cleanse your body, cleanse your mind, cleanse your space. If you had any expectation for yourself tonight or with this practice, letting that go. As I am with me, as every time I am in a new space, it's always kind of a guess of how it's going to look, sound. Should I have done something a different way? Just letting that go. And just being, if something is off, it will figure out a way. Find that last deep cleansing breath if you have not already done so, and find your natural, normal breathing. And we're going to start by allowing our arms to extend and lengthen out to sides. And we're going to hold here and breathe and really start to bring awareness to your lengthening. Your tail is connected to mat or floor or seat. Your arms are long and wide, aligned with the shoulders. You're lengthening still through that belly, back, and crown. Notice any differences or changes in the breath. Does it take a lot for you to allow your arms to stay long? Are they getting tired? Are they feeling strong? And if you'd like, just wiggle the fingers and the thumb and pinky. And slowly allow the hands to find stillness. And keep those arms strong. We're going to allow them to come out in front of chest, stay long. And we're going to find some wrist circles in one direction and then the other direction. Find stillness and take the arms out wide once again. We're going to take them back a little bit further this time. So if they were aligned with the shoulders, if you choose, you're going to allow that torso up, that chest to kind of come forward just a tad, and the arms are going to move backward just a tad. You might start to feel this in the shoulder blades. Holding strong in that core, the tail still connected. And take it all forward. This time we're going to allow the arms to pass each other through center, and moment for self-hug, self-love. So awareness at which arm is on top, because we'll switch that. And just take a little slow side to side twist to one direction. I took mine to the right. It doesn't matter which way you go first. We'll always balance it out on both sides. Then pass through center and take it the opposite direction. Puppy is passed out. And return to center. Arms go wide once again, nice and long. Lift through center. Arms go back. Stretching out those shoulders, the shoulder blades, the spine, the chest, opening up that heart. Breathing. All right, take it through. This time, opposite arm on top. And notice, which direction did you twist to second? That's what we're going to twist to the first now. So now I'm twisting to the left side first. And passing through center. Do your best to keep that lower body facing forward. Twist to the opposite side. Don't forget to breathe. And return to center. Arms long and strong once again. This time, palms facing up, arms raising up. Vision can follow. Deep inhale, lengthen those arms towards the sky. The vision can come forward again. We're going to take those shoulders down, away from the ears. Palms connect up above and ahead. Tail connected to floor. Once again, your palms are going to be connected. Work with the arms. See if you notice or if you see your arms and your peripherals. So your peripherals, your side eye. So if you go to the right, do you see your arms in the right? If you bring awareness to the left, do you see your arms in the left? If not, that's okay. No worry. But see then if you can take your arms back just a tad. Palms still connected if you choose. So now I do not see my arms as much in my peripherals when I bring awareness there. And if you'd like, you're going to soften the arms. We're going to take the palm, the hands, the fingertips. They're going to drop behind the head, elbows to sky. Upper body stretching, bringing awareness to the heart chakra, which is our median, our center, connecting our lower chakras, grounding us to the earth, and bringing that awareness to the upper three chakras, our spirituality, our outside higher self and universe. All right, take those arms up nice and high. Anjali Mudra, hands to heart. Sternum, think of sternum. Thumb comes to sternum, so right in between the chest here. Elbows are low. We're going to take 3 deep cleansing breaths here. Take them however you wish. Either inhale, exhale through the mouth, or inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Maybe a gentle smile on the face. Closed eyes if you feel safe. If not, maybe you have to have some awareness. Maybe you're doing this in the middle of a park or a gym or a library. Awareness if needed. Let go, smile. Now we're going to have that awareness in the upper body. So we're going to go ahead and take the palms out, extending arms out and away from our heart out in front of chest. Then we're going to release the hands. We're going to take them back behind the body. I'm going to move so that you can see me a little bit better. So that you can see me sideways. All right, but you don't have to. So we're going to take the arms or the palms or clasp the hands behind your back, and then you're going to lengthen through the crown. And you're going to allow your arms to gently rise and extend away from body. Kind of shake out anything if you need to. Or maybe the fingertips are just clasped and the thumb is free and the palms are open. And breathe here. I've done this a few times in a row now this week, so my body's like, it's only Wednesday, what's happening? Like, this is too much. And if you'd like, you could forward fold just a tad, not a deep forward fold yet, but just a gentle forward fold, extending, lengthening through the crown. And that will allow you to lift the arms higher. Gently release, relax. Hands are going to go flat, fingertips point away. It's going to welcome a stretch in the wrist. Press the palms into the mat. You can spread the fingers apart. Lift the heart and chest. Vision can float to ceiling or sky, depending on where you are. Breathe and release. Give yourself a minute to shake anything out. We're going to go a little bit deeper in those wrists now. So Depending on where you are with your practice and with yourself, supporting your body, do what's going to work for you best. We're going to take the arms behind once again. You have the option to clasp the hands and fingers, to just go here, where you start to lengthen through the shoulders and stretch and all that good stuff. Or you have the option to bring palms together, welcome a gentle bend in the elbows. Or if you'd like to get a little bit deeper in this twist and turn, you have the option here to allow, we're going to do reverse Anjaliya, so reverse prayer pose. So your pinkies will come in close to the back. So the fingertips are going to touch, and you're going to allow a reverse prayer. And this gets into the wrists, this gets into the hands, this gets into the shoulders, the arms. So hopefully you can see that behind me. And pressing the palms into one another. This is more of maybe a level 2 or 3, but if you'd like to get in there and deep or just try it out, it could even be that you're just trying it out and you're moving away from this, the extension with the arms, and just bringing one hand back, palm facing out, and then take the other hand and have it inside and have palm facing out. And see how that feels there on your back and your body. If that feels good, maybe then you kind of start to adjust and extend that wrist or take it low, drop that elbow down, see how you feel. And then you drop the other elbow down, see how you feel. And I don't know why I'm screaming, I apologize. I got this earpiece in my ear, I don't need to yell. And then you have the option to then maybe just see, like, can you touch your pinky? Can you touch your ring fingers, your middle fingers, your pointer, your thumb? So try that out. If something feels, strenuous, release, let go. You want to stretch, not strain. Take a moment, breathe, and then just relax and release. And if your feet are not already, option 2, extend and lengthen those feet out. Maybe you did that all in Sukhasana or in your seated pose. Release the arms, shake anything out that you need. If you're in Sukhasana, maybe you shake those toes out if you need, and breathe. All right. So let's bring a little love and awareness into those sides now, a little more. Feet can be extended out away. We're just going to walk and do a spinal twist. So pick a side, breathe, take the hands out to side. One arm goes behind you. Vision can follow. Seated spinal twist. Focusing on the upper body. Legs are long. And gently release, return to center. Shake anything out. And then take it to the opposite side. Oh, there's Puppy. He's getting his stretches. He turned around. Hi, Bubba. All right, and return to center. We'll bring awareness into that lower body now. So we're going to allow awareness into those legs. Pick a foot, pick a side. Welcome the knee close to chest. Take a breath. And then we're going to allow the same side hand to wrap over the feet. Now, if you're seated in chair, you may not be grabbing the foot. You may be grabbing underneath the knee or underneath the thigh and lifting that leg in close to you if you choose, or if you're doing this on bed. And so when we go to extend out and up, you would maybe just hold there and extend that leg out. So if you're on mat, you're going to allow this leg to lift. We're going to extend it out front, feel the stretch, and you could also use your opposite hand underneath the thigh for a little support. We're going to keep this opposite leg forward, and we're just going to take a little stretch out to the side. You don't have to go far. This is going to welcome in some balance also, and an opening gently through the side and hips. If it's too much, you could always keep it kind of like a seated happy baby. You could always keep that knee bent. And if you want to go long and stretch out that leg, feel free to do so. Check in with self. And bring it back and down to that center, and then extend it out. We're going to do that on the opposite side. So opposite knee comes in. Breathe, take your time. And when ready, lift and take out to side, or lift and extend. Take out to side, notice where you are with your body. I notice I started leaning back, but not going into boat pose just yet. So taking it out to side, keeping tail at center seated, lengthening. You could use that second hand to help rise, support the body, and then take it back to center. Knee bends, lengthen. Take any little whatnots that you need. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the ankles, and breathe. All right. We're going to go ahead and find a butterfly or bound angle. Call it what you will. I always like to give choice here. So if you want a little more space, that's what your body is calling for. Allow you to keep more of a diamond shape in your lower body. If you're looking for a little more flutter and feel, bring those heels in closer, maybe adjust the tail, drop those knees out a little bit further out to side. Hands can wrap around the toes. We're going to stay here, extended breath, extended pose. So can never get enough butterfly myself over here. So hopefully you enjoy it too. Breathing, shoulders are away from ears, lengthening through crown. I talked about this the other day. If you're looking for a little more weight or just working on opening up the hips, working on splits, you could put a little bit of weight, a little bit of blocks, a little bit of arms, water jugs I've seen people do on the knees. And breathe. A few more breaths. This is a sauna that cannot be rushed as you're opening up the hips. So what's a benefit of hatha is we're really breathing into the body. We're feeling our body. Vinyasa, we're flowing through with breath. We're feeling the body, but it's different. It's a little bit more heat, a little bit more intensity sometimes. So the hatha, you're simmering, kind of settling into that asana and getting a feel for how it feels in the body. So one or two more breaths. And then when ready, gently rise, knees come to center. Find some windshield wipers here. So maybe fall to one side, the knees together. And then bring it to center, readjust, realign the hips, and then take your knees to the opposite side and breathe. And continue at your own pace and time. A couple more windshield wipers, 2 or 3 more. A couple or a few, you know. If you've been sitting all day, you're just walking a straight line all day, adding some awareness to all sides and pieces and parts to the body and our little aura and sphere around us, the space that we take, or that is there to take and accept. And returning to center, we're going to take a little tail end back here. We're going to allow the feet to fall to one side or the other. We're going to allow ourselves to come up from all fours, and we're going to rest on the shins once again. So I say once again because apparently I'm blending classes here. I did this in another class earlier today. So we're going to find shin for this class first round. And we're going to breathe, release. And as we sit on shin, so notice here, and if you've done class with me before, you may be prepared and just having a blanket or pillow or something to support your legs or feet or ankles if you need. You could always do these next poses in Sukhasana and adapt as you need or wish, or as your body calls to you. Or just feeling that pressure on the feet, on the ankles, the feet being flat behind you, starting, and just that awareness on the lower body. And then start to check in with the upper body. Bring awareness to the pelvis. So I tended to have my chest out. So I want to bring the chest back, tuck the tail, still engaging the core, and notice how that kind of aligns you a little bit better, a little bit differently. So before I was kind of S-shaped through my bone structure. So now I'm aligning and bringing stacking my body on top of one another. So it's one part and piece to think about when you're moving through asanas, and that's stacking, Because we do that maybe when we're sitting, we slug or we slouch, we don't realize it. We pump our chest out, we don't realize it. So we want to, for the yoga sauna and a lot of dance too and ballet and stuff, you want to stack, and you're going to work those muscles. So we're stacking here, and then we're going to rise. We're going to lift up. And you may notice that you even lift up differently when you have those parts and pieces stacked versus when the chest and tail is up. So you lift up, you look different, feel different, maybe not. Then we're going to go ahead and take the arms at their sides, raise them to ceiling and sky once again. Anjaliya, palms together, hands to heart, and thumb to sternum once again. Now notice your toes. Notice your body here. Are you leaning forward? Are you leaning backwards? Are your feet still flat and connected to earth? If they are, option to lift up on those toes, heels facing up. Adjust, adapt as you need, and gently start to lower. Now, as you're lowering, notice if you're kind of maneuvering the body differently. So work with lowering as that body is still stacked. This is going to work your thighs, your lower body a little bit differently. It's going to engage those lower abdominals, bring it back, and you're going to get a stretch into your toes. So adjust or fix your toes if you need, little toes, middle toes, big toe. Now, if that's too much, you could always, lift off just a tad. So you're not, or you could lift forward a little bit, or you could bring the hands down if that's a little bit too much. So otherwise, hold here. Anjaliya still, hands for your heart. Breathe, smile, release, let go. Anything that is asking to be released, anything quietly saying, hey, it's time not to think about me, or it's time to let the universe take over, let it go. Breathe. And then when ready, once again, think about that body, stacking, lift and rise. Flatten feet one more time, this time prayer hands to the sky, vision can follow. We're going to take a little baby back bend here. And bring it forward. Feet are flat, hands release to sides. Find yourself back to shin. And once again, we're going to welcome our spinal twist. Noticing that awareness through the upper chakras, connecting with that heart center, opening chest. Inhale at center, exhale, spinal twist to a side, pick a side. Now, as you're going to that spinal twist, maybe the head tilts over that back shoulder, arms creep further back, see if there's any differences from the first one to now. Breathing, releasing. And return to center, shake anything out that you'd like. Then take your spinal twist once again, opposite side. Puppy looks so cute. Just sleeping. And return to center. We're going to find all fours. Knees align with the hips. Hands, palms spread apart. Feet can be flat or on those toes for a little stretch. We're going to engage and hold here. Bring that awareness to the belly and just notice what it feels like when the belly is soft and relaxed. The shoulders are soft and relaxed. Do your best to allow those shoulders to stay down away from the ears, pressing the palms underneath the shoulders into the mat. And this little twist that I find in my arm. So I have the elbow facing out, and then I'm going to kind of twist when I have my palms pressing down into the mat, kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it, but kind of allowing like the elbows to roll out. My elbow starts to roll back, and the inside the elbow pit starts to roll kind of inward or towards the front. So that's something that we tend to check in with our bodies and self in yoga. And I don't know if you can see it when I move forward. It's kind of this interesting movement with the body. So if you have questions about that, let me know. But just finding that awareness, we tend to move into that, and that's how we find our kind of structure, our base on all fours. And take a few breaths here. Notice what it feels like in the core and the belly, still working those muscles gently. And as you're engaging that center versus when it's soft and that belly is quote unquote hanging. And then as you move into your cat cows, which is what we're about to do, seeing how it feels when you keep the belly engaged versus soft. Because we can have the belly engaged, but then as soon as we go for cow, we maybe soften the belly, not even realize it, and drop it as we lift the crown and tail. So as you start to move through your cows and cats, then you may notice also that you're moving through chest more so than belly. So we want to do the best. See how it feels as you bring engagement, pulling that belly button into spine and still dropping the belly for cow and keeping it engaged and moving through for cat. And you might notice a difference where you feel cat. Instead of just feeling it in the chest, you might then feel it in the belly as you round your back. So try that out. Move through your cats and your cows, just checking in with our alignment and letting go by checking into every little piece and part of the body, seeing how the body feels. And then as you make your way, you're finding your inhales and exhales and releasing through those exhales anything that is asking to be released. Sometimes it's just fun to play in the asanas too. So find your last cow and cat. Find yourself back to all fours. Gonna bring awareness to side. We're gonna find a thread the needle. Awareness to left hand and right leg. Left leg align. Adjust the left hand as needed. Right arm goes out to side, maybe floats to sky. And exhale, thread the needle. So right shoulder, right temple to floor, tail high. Left arm can be where you feel it's supported. And breathe. And configure and find your left hand. Bring it back to center. Unwind, bringing that right hand down to mat. So we're going to take the same on the left side now. So right hand will adjust and keep connected to mat if you choose. Knees are aligned under hips still. And left arm goes out to side, possibly up to sky. And exhale. Left temple, left shoulder to mat. Right arm adjusts. And release. Back to all fours. Take a moment for breath. And we're going to find a downward dog here. So you have options. Maybe your hands are going to move out further a little bit. You might find those feet are back on the toes. They're not flat. And you have options. You could stay on all fours and just kind of wiggle and shake and move the body as you choose. Or you have that option to adjust. The knees are still aligned, connected underneath the body. You have option to lift for a low dog and start to take the tail back, have knees bent, and then slowly walk into your downward dog. You could stay on all fours. You could stay in low dog or eventually make it to your downward dog and take any motions or movements that are calling you. The arms go a little bit forward and those palms stay strong. Hands and fingers are spread apart. Notice how the backs of your legs feel. Now, in some of the Eastern classes that I take, we have our downward dog, we have our dolphin, and then we have our mountain pose here. So to find a mountain pose, if you want to see how this feels with the body today and releasing maybe some of the hidden things in the body, you'll bring the feet to middle, big toes touching, tail is still high. Adjust the arms, find a temple at the top. Vision is to shins. And breathe, inhale, exhale. See if there's any difference in your mountain pose. This version of mountain versus your downward dog. And then when ready, you're more than welcome to take it back to downward dog. Breathe. And we're slowly going to make our way to plank. Option to take knees to floor. Feet go flat. If you took the knees to floor, breathe here, or option to stay in plank. It's up to you and engage that core. And then when ready, knees, chest, belly to mat. Hands are at sides. We're going to take an alligator pose. Forearm out in front of you, forehead to forearm if you choose. And let go and breathe here. All right. We're going to bring awareness to the left forearm. You could gently raise the crown if you choose. And we're going to bring awareness to the right leg and foot. We're going to lift that right leg. We're going to bend that knee if you choose. And we're going to open up out to the right side. Right leg is going to go back behind the left leg, knee bent, and allowing the stretch through the lower pelvis and body into the hip opener again. Option to hold here, option to adjust. Now you could have that knee bent, you can keep it there, or option to just lengthen it away. It's going to put a little more awareness into the upper body, so it's up to you. Breathe for a moment or two. And then with steady control, take it back to center, lengthen that right foot, and take it to other side. So now the right forearm will come out in front. Left just kind of will hang out where it may. Option to take then that left foot, crossing back right. You can bend that knee, open up and stretch through that hip opener. No, I don't have space, so you do have that option to, lengthen and take it back. You're going to feel that in the upper body still. But otherwise, you're just kind of opening here. You might feel that across the lower pelvis into the lower body once again. Opening up the hip, you can even use that hand to open up if you're looking for something a little more. Otherwise, just kind of looks like a, hey, how's it going pose. What's going on at the beach? And then when ready, take it back with control, full body, back to center. And allow the forehead to relax once again, alligator pose. All right, we're going to go through one more and then we'll make our way into our moment for meditation. So options here. We're going to go into a bow pose, a gentle bow. So it's up to you because you could take almost a lotus if bow is not calling your body today. So what we're going to do is allow the arms to shoot backwards. Palms are facing down, possibly, but they're at sides. And you're going to gently lift up the chest. Now this is variation kind of one, kind of this nice lotus pose. You could lift the feet off. And it's kind of like your little lotus wings, right? So they're back there. Now, if you choose to go into bow, what you'll do is you'll bend one leg and then the other, or bend one knee and then the other. You're going to still rise with that chest. Hand is going to reach where it may reach. Gentle bow, you could hold here. This is going to give you a quad stretch. You're going to open up the chest, think of that heart once again. Back to knee point, your pelvis or belly is going to press into the mat possibly. Or you have that option if you're ready to go a little bit more, you could always rise. But you're more than welcome to keep it gentle today and just stretch here. Maybe the forehead starts to make its way towards the mat once again. Gentle bow. Breathing, releasing, relaxing the shoulders possibly. Or option to rise. Vision still to the floor and then rising, lifting the legs towards the ceiling or sky. It's up to you. Or the lotus. And no matter which one you chose, gently release. And those arms are going to come back up. We're going to bring awareness to the knees. We're going to press off the chest, the belly, the hips, the pelvis. You're going to find a Balasana child's pose. So the arms stay long, your tail starts to come back over the back body and heels. Knees can be aligned with hips or option to rock side to side. Adjust the knees, mat width apart, big toes touching, forehead can come to floor. Find your Balasana. Be there for a few breaths. Find your last breaths in your Balasana. And when you're ready, you'll gently come back onto all fours. Allow the knees to return to center. Option here to take your Shavasana the way that you prefer. So if you choose to take it in alligator pose, you could lengthen on the belly once again. Hands above, forehead to forearms, rest here. Option to take it on back. You could gently, slowly turn onto one side and eventually make your way to your back. And lengthen, release, breathe, let go. Preferably palms are facing up for this one. Relaxing the full body, shake anything out or stretch anything if you need. It's up to you. Or if you found yourself still on all fours and you hadn't left all fours, that option to then kick feet out to side, tail connects to mat, be slow, no rush, no worry, and find whichever seated position is calling you. It could be lotus, it could be sukhasana, legs crossed, what have you. Oh man, if you're seated, it could be just relaxing the body in your seat. Your belly goes soft now. Spine, shoulders, arms, head back. Palms at sides are resting in lap, around the thighs and knees. And just breathe. Now, if you have some time, you are more than welcome to, maybe set a timer, or if you have unlimited time after this is the last thing you're doing today, you are welcome to stay within your Shavasana, your moment of reflection, moment of peace, as long as you'd like. This is your time, your flow, your practice. Make of it what you will. If you have to get on with your day, may you take about 5 breaths or so, deep inhales and exhales, letting go of whatever is asking to be released, and allowing a moment of peace and serenity in the mind, overwhelming sense of peace and calm over the physical body to occur before slowly welcoming your physical body back to place. Or if you're ready to get back to your day, may you enjoy one big deep inhale through the nose with me, and one long deep exhale through the mouth. And thank you for joining me for this evening Hatha flow of letting go. May it ease you into the rest of your day. Light, peace, smiles, and love. Namaste. So do what you need, do what you must. Now, something fun and silly that I found that doesn't happen after the recording goes on the YouTube page, but is that when it's live, even though I'm here, there might be a delay in the play on your screen. And so I found it interesting when people tell me, like, if they come on live it'll be like I'm still moving or talking or welcoming peace, and then it will just cut off. And I found that like so funny in tech with the delays, and it probably depends on too like the internet service and where the person's at and blah blah blah. But when you go back and watch the replay on the channel, it doesn't have that. It finishes the full, whatnot. Although sometimes YouTube can just pick a moment and like stop the video, so you have to go into edit, whatnot. But I did find that kind of interesting and the fun of tech. So I just wanted to bring that up. So I, apologies on any of that if that's happened to you in the practice or flow. Reach out, let me know. Otherwise, if you have any questions about anything that we've done in the practice today, reach out, let me know. Thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, morning, where, depending on where you are in the universe. So take care.